Wow. I'm just sitting here looking at how long it took that thing to connect. I've been sitting here a minute. But look, guys, I'm going to be quick. This is just a brief, short video. If I can find what I'm talking about here, because I am going to be reading. I'm not even going to pretend. There's a cheat sheet here. And the cheat sheet I'm reading off of is actually posted below in my profile. And I'm just going to start off with new birth. Prosperity gives you power to bless others, but that's not just true for the church, that's true for everyone. Warren Buffett and Steve, they give a lot of money and to a lot of charitable organizations, and they say they can't outgive what comes back to them. So, starting Wednesday, March the 6th through Sunday, April the 21st, my church, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Stonecrest, Lithonia, is having its Taking Care of Business 40-day financial fast. I think that may be too loud. Prosperity gives you the power to bless others. And if we're going to prepare for this, we don't wait till March the 3rd to get started. We need to get started now. And I really admire the live streamer who actually asked for the information. And I thank the member who posted it in our special group, because I've taken that and of course I've modified and added a little bit more information at the bottom of the copy that I've posted. But let's just start off. The first point, financial discipline. Pray daily for God to give you direction in managing your finances. We can pray, but faith without works is dead. So we're going to read books, blogs, and websites on financial empowerment. I have a lot of material and resources that are available through my company for free. Yes, and I also have other resources. I'm going to continue. Set financial goals. Work towards paying down your highest bill first. That's a whole process. I have included in my protection plan the debt zero. But I'm not going to go through all this because you know what? I'm going to let you decide. The next point is to make a commitment. Open up a savings account or deposit money into your existing savings account at every pay period. It says save underneath that $5 a day or $50 a week and give a sacrificial offering at the end of the fast. You know, the point is my mother used to always say that she had some friends who she told me said they had to wait until they had a lot of money to start a savings account. And she said, you start where you are. So, I mean, if you're not in a position to do $5 a day, do 50 cents. Do something. Do the little thing with emptying the change out of your purse at the end of the day and start fresh. Or make a commitment. I remember I'm old enough to remember the quarter cards from the bank, and you fill up that card after you get a certain point, you come and bring it, you put it into your little passbook. But, you know, the point is to start somewhere and start planning. Some of your employers will allow you to do an additional direct deposit, so you can set up another account. It's February the 16th. I know we don't start till March the 6th, but you know what? It takes, when I did payroll, it would take 2 to 3 payroll periods to get something started. So if you have options to do other payroll deductions, go ahead and take it out before you get it in your hands. It'll truly bless you. Trust me, it will bless you. So, you know, the next thing that it talks about is preparing a weekly budget for your household. Only spend what you plan for. Hi, Lori. It's good to see you, Lori J. Campbell. Track your spending. Write down all expenses. Include everything. Gas, coffee, lunch, gum at the Quick Trip, at the gas station, that little coffee you get, whether it's Starbucks, whatever. Track your spending. If you spend money on it, track it. Cook meals at home as much as possible. Limit dining out. We have meal kits downstairs that we ordered from Amazon. Patrick has his little set, and honestly, you know, a lot of us had plans for those pounds we were going to release. We don't lose them, because when you lose weight, your body goes looking for it. Man, I love that dump cake I've got downstairs. I'm just going to confess up. Hey, Brother Christopher Davis, good to see you. I have it where I can see it today, but I'm a little tired, but y'all are waking me up. It's been a long morning. Oh, it's evening. So, you know, the point is that in all of this, and I'm going to go ahead and get through the list. Avoid using credit cards. And, you know, we usually have a rule, you know, we go through a whole thing about in the webinar, even talking about my business. We actually do a lot of education in those webinars. About limiting your spending to 30% usage. Anything above that will bring your credit score down. These things all calculate. So a lot of these points that we have in taking care of business 40-day financial fast is actually mostly what I do in my protection plan. It's not just credit, as well as wills, trust, and power of attorney. I said I'm not going to go into that. Let me continue. Stay away from payday loans and check cashing stores. Those things need to be outlawed, and a lot of states are working on that right now. Hello, Uncle Bishop. Love you, man. Yeah, I'm still going. I've barely left this office since this is where I'm usually sitting when I'm doing my live. I'm actually sitting right in this chair. Do not go to the mall, which is not a problem for me. The next one is my problem. No online shopping. When he said that just hurt. But then I had to stop and think. There's some online things that are part of my regular grocery purchasing where I save money, not just on the product online. My tax rate is, I'm not going to go into that. My shipping, no gas, no wear and tear. When Senior Pastor said that, he really meant like that mall shopping, that spur of the moment. So if you're actually saving dollars, it's a necessary item. But the point is, we need to map this out we need to map through this process like the coupon shoppers. I'm not one of those great coupon shoppers. Fortunately, where I shop, they remind me that I'm on the list, so then I pull out my phone and we apply my discount. But again, those are normal expenditures. I have an OLLIES near my house, 2 miles from there to my house. And I get the bread that's $3 and $4 there. I get it there for $1.29 a loaf. There are things like that. But you have to plan your purchasing. I have a whole routine that I have. I have a farmer's market that's diagonally across the street from there, where I get my chicken thighs for 79.89 cents a pound. Then I swing around 3 miles down the road the other way to Aldi's, and I know I'm going to get my eggs there 69 cents. You have to plan. You have to plan. And then I know that I'm also rotating between that farmer's market and that Aldi's, getting my vegetables and fruits and vegetables from different areas. Because they're saying that is a key point, that different soils have different nutrients. I can do a whole webinar just on that alone. Thank God that I'm 60. But it's been a process. And my mom sowed a lot of seeds into me about eating properly and diet. A lot of things that were ahead of her time, but also she was a healthcare professional who didn't believe necessarily, especially her last 40 years, she really didn't have a lot of faith in prescription medication as we know it. She went back to a lot of the old ways. So, I mean, there's so much that I can say on that. But, this whole process, and I'm just, I have to have my music because the music keeps me going. I've got a playlist of probably about 10,000 songs, and most of them are Christian gospel, and I'm also a trained professional classical musician. So, the last point that the Senior Pastor has on that list, and this list is posted on my Facebook page, my personal page, invest in your children's future, research ways to help your children understand fiscal responsibility, and put them on a financial plan. I've got a note to please inbox me for a free product demo link that may assist you with financial literacy, budgeting, and tracking your spending, because those are all part of that one program that we talk about with credit restoration. I can also provide you a YouTube video that gives a short, very pleasant, more pleasant than me, overview about this product. No one will contact you because I'm the one with the information unless you ask me to contact you. I got a lot of people contact, so unless you tell me that you want me to contact you, I won't be contacting you. And I'm just being, I know everybody is busy. Good evening, Bishop Pierman. Along with that, the link to the YFL, the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation, which is a nonprofit division. We have 2 nonprofit divisions in my company that has also games and all types of financial literacy things that you can do with your children that require no membership. That's why I asked you to inbox me, so that I can find out what you need, what you want, and then I can send you according to that. But we do need to spend a little time on the phone because everything's gotten so impersonal. we're talking through Facebook Messenger. I've got people that I'm having to leave voice messages because they don't want to leave the phone number. And when they find out what I want, they find out I'm just basically trying to find out, okay, what did you really need so I can give you that. Brother Davis can tell you I spent time with him on the phone actually going through a whole bunch of things that I had learned just in the process of life outside of the company, because I don't even want to talk about how many personal loans I've done, how many restructurings I've done for my parents in the past, because life has lessons that it teaches that we learn, and we don't know unless we spend that time to get to know one another face to face, or at least over the phone. Because the social media, I love it, but it's just a method for us to connect and do surface sharing. To really dig deep, we have to spend that quality time together. But I'm not going to get into that, because when the music stopped, I was supposed to have been finished and going to the next project. Just remember, we've got the taking care of business 4-day financial fast. No, it's not starting until March the 6th. But if you're going to be setting financial goals and you're going to commit to them and be successful, it is going to take some preparation. Bishop Pierman wants to know what type of system I'm using. Yeah, I'm using a gaming computer system. It's fast. But the main thing that I do for those live streams is my documents are already prepared, so that I'm basically toggling and copying and pasting and dropping the information. That means before time I have to think about what are going to be the needs going to be. Go to the New Birth website, go to Bishop Pierman's website. And so after a while I have so much material that even if another guest person comes on, I've got documents and information. When Bishop Pierman was talking about his Resurrection Weekend, which you really should take a look at going to, because I know I've got some people outside the area. He's in the Poconos area of Pennsylvania. If you want that information, just DM me. People will tell you I do eventually answer your DMs. If I'm not your friend, it takes me a minute sometimes to find it, because I had to turn the alerts off, because the alerts actually kick me out of live streams, because I probably get 20 or 30 alerts sometimes at the same time. So I have to have a gaming system. That's why I'm not present at New Birth Alive, is because they don't have a system to this capacity. My oldest son built a system specifically to do motion studies, and when the software didn't come through and I needed a computer, he gifted it to me. That's Patrick's older brother. I have a child that's almost 40. So we're all doing our different projects. This is a totally different world. I have a son who has a regular job, the one that you don't see because he doesn't live in the state, and he makes as much money off of what he does on YouTube. So for us, social media, what we do is not a game about games, although I have one game I play for my mind. I do it 3 times a week. I spend only 15 minutes, a total of 45 minutes a week. Most of my time is spent studying, creating most of the materials that you see I create. I can teach you how to do it. The lady who actually started me is 3 years older than I am. So it's not about an age thing. My mom told me that you had to continuously challenge the mind. It can do anything. Most of us barely use 3% of its capacity. But it's called, you always have to stretch to do something new. I've seen too many cases of Alzheimer's and dementia in my family, and it always seemed to onset at the moment that they sat down and decided that they couldn't learn anything new. So I know this is outside the scope of the live that I was doing, so I'm going to get back to it. We've got to plan. I stopped about making a commitment. When you make a commitment, that means that you are making a commitment by making a plan. When you make a decision, if you've truly made a decision, then you start walking out, taking action steps toward making sure that that is going to happen. So, that's why I'm reviewing this now. If you're going to save $5 a day, $50 a week, $1 a day, a quarter a day, set aside a method that you're going to do it. And then for those of you who have employers where you can add an additional direct deposit, go ahead and set that in place with your banks. Again, it is February the 16th. We start. No, I will not be at the mothership in the morning. I don't have the system there. They think I can run it off my phone. And I have a system. My system has 2 air conditioner units and 3 fans. It takes that to run it. I can't be that fast off my phone. You can't do what I do on a phone or a tablet. And I'm going to have to acquire an additional screen or two because we're running 4 to 5 live streams on Sunday. I would love to be there. My son Patrick will probably be there. He's usually down front, the kid with now he's got kind of like the mohawk. He's really slim and he's got the beard and he's always smiling. He's got big eyes. Kim knows him. Quite a few of the members know him. So if you want to meet him, he's happy to give hugs for mommy and give mommy messages, and he'll take a selfie. So yeah, hi Glenda. It's great to have you back, sister. I missed you. Yeah, we still owe each other hugs. And Christopher, yeah, I will try to do what I can. I need to acquire that. This system does come in a laptop version. It's not cheap. So as I make strides with my business, I'll sew into that so that I can be present at the mothership. But they just don't have the equipment that I need, and right now I don't want to burden the church with that request. It takes money, and we need to make some upgrades to the video system first, because that, like I said, that equipment, those cameras, you're talking a car. Every one of those cameras is a car. The crane is a Bentley. Well, actually, I don't know which costs more, that crane or the Bentley. I do remember what we paid for that, because I used to be part of the television ministry. But yeah, I would love to meet you as well. So, again, I'm just going to do a quick recap. So, my budgeting program is not sheets. It's actually a system that tracks. It will guide you in how to pay down your bills. There's a saving program in there that you can set saving goals for different things. But again, no matter what you do, if it's a jar, we've got to do this. And the reason why, there's another component that I wanted to put that's not on my script, because my script is actually what you see on my Facebook page. It's Taking Care of Business 40-Day Financial Fast. It's starting at New Birth. And so, what I did want to do is I made a post early, because right now the GOP is proposing a bill, and I know a lot of people have student loans. That bill is going to propose that your student loan money is taken right out of your paycheck. You're really not going to probably have an option. So it's going to eliminate the needs for garnishments, which is going to be really interesting, because I ran that past my youngest son, Patrick. And so, and as well as my better half, William, and we started thinking about all the others, those little small collection companies, and people have jobs there. So they're looking towards doing a lot of things to automate things. But the question is why they're doing this. Who's going to get the fee for going in, for setting that up with the employers? When anything comes up, I always look at the money trail. Who is actually going to benefit behind it? Just like, rumors I've heard about the so-called wall, that this particular type of metal or steel they can only get from Russia. So I don't know about if there's any truth in that, but we have to look at a lot of what's going on. But anyway, so back to the point. Don't forget, if you can add additional direct deposit, debit from your employer, go ahead and research that. If you're going to do that savings part that he's got listed as one of the items on our Taking Care of Business 40-Day Financial Fast, because I did have, my last employer did have several options for my direct deposit to be directed, so that you can automatically set it to come out of your check before you get started. Preparing, tracking your spending. I don't know if you're going to use a spending diary. I don't know if you're going to get an app for your phone. Those are other options. We just need to start thinking. Again, cook your meals at home as much as possible. A lot of people have talked about their healthy goals for this year, for releasing weight. We don't lose it because the body tries to find it. I was a top trainer in the 80s up in New England and New York, and I can tell you, your body does try to go look for it. So, we picked up Patrick picked up from Amazon some meal planning things. There's this box. It was really inexpensive. And so so many days at a time, puts that stuff and puts part of it in the refrigerator and the other part in the freezer. I do most of my cooking during the weekend. It's like between Friday and Monday, I'm done for the week. And so, that's, you just plan. And you have to, it just sets up the budget. And, for those of us who shop 4 different places like I do, I split it up and I purchase accordingly. So that keeps me from doing a lot of last minute unplanned buying. And I mean, if you're going to eat out, there are places that have great coupon deals where you can really find some savings. Because I do know some families, not here but in Memphis, that they don't cook. One lady doesn't cook at all, but they've got all the meal deals. They've got the days when her son told me, he says, yeah, his wife even had the days where children could eat free. And that generally when they were going to Bible study, that's what they did. They would go to one of those places. So again, they've set a cost limit and they've gone accordingly. And don't be afraid to use your phone app. All of my friends who have real money in the bank, real money saved, how they got there was by doing that. There's no shame in that. I've heard Warren Buffett eats the same meal from McDonald's every day. I wouldn't recommend that necessarily for your health, but the point is that we do have to plan. Again, we're supposed to avoid using credit cards, stay away from payday loans, check cashing stores. I know that some of them have a plan where you can get one of their cards, and if you do your direct deposit through them, that eliminates those fees. So that's another option, because I know that some people are challenged. Credit impacts a lot of things. Credit impacts your ability to have bank accounts. They go and research that. Credit impacts, they look at credit scores. They say they only do it on jobs when you're handling money, but I can tell you that's a lie from the pits of hell. I can document an issue that stopped me out of 6 figures, and it was an issue from a previous divorce, his stuff overlapping, that I just got off. And that divorce happened back, how old was Patrick? Patrick was 4 years old. Patrick's 31. And that popped up when Patrick was in high school. So that stuff should have been gone. And that's the big deal, is when we start clearing these erroneous issues off your record. And again, no online shopping. And I went into detail about the no online shopping, because in some cases, like my case, I purchase things online that are normal household items that I'm saving an average of $3 to $10 on that item. I have a membership, so I'm not paying for shipping. And in some cases, I'm not even paying sales taxes. It just depends. I don't know how they figure it out. I just know that I do a comparison and I make sure that I'm saving money. And then the last thing, invest in your children's future. To research ways to help your children understand fiscal responsibility and put them on a financial plan. I will, if you direct message me, because I don't know who needs it. And some of these things I actually have to generate a demo password for you. So that's why I'm asking to DM you, so that I can make sure that I create that for you if you need it. My youth financial literacy program, where we just gave away the award of the scholarship, $350,000 scholarship. I think I posted a picture of the young man, the top recipient. It also has a component in there, and it, like I said, I won't be doing it, but there's a component in there where you can train your children, cute, fun little things to do with them to help your young children and youth to become more financial literate. As well as there's also other information in there in my demo where you can click in there and actually get information on a whole lot of things, questions that you may have about your credit issues, because they do a lot of things. And I mean, it was really interesting because Patrick had a challenging call when he was paying his car note online the other day on the phone, and the person was asking him all kinds of questions. I heard him. I'm like, what's going on? He says they are trying to challenge me in some things, and asking for information and asking questions is none of our business. But that's because he's in the program and he's been studying. You'd just be surprised. When I'm talking to even the making my payment for a utility bill, and they ask me to update the information, I don't give them the number to my employer. I've had the joy of having my co-workers stuff business called back because they'll call in at any time. You don't even have to be late. When my oldest son was away in the Navy with the Iraq War, my mom was trying to pay his credit card bill before the 15th of the month, but they started calling on the 3rd. Her plans were to pay it on the 10th. It wasn't due to the 15th, and she just asked him, why are you calling? She told him to stop calling. Bill wasn't behind. Bill wasn't late. They become very aggressive, and that was, my mom transitioned in 2013, but they become very aggressive, and just because they do it or just because they ask doesn't mean it's legal. I've had people perpetrate that they were attorneys to Patrick when he was in college. And I'm just going to be very transparent. He had a Macy's bill. Macy's bill was $400. We were down to that. I made a payment arrangement. We were down to the last $25. He opened that account up when he was in high school. Legally, he shouldn't have. He hid it from me. He was not of age of ratification, which means he was not liable for that bill because he ratified it by paying after he turned legal age. He became then liable. So, the point is that he was getting ready. The person perpetrated that they were on the phone as an attorney. Thank God when he called my cell phone at work, I told him, I said, Patrick, I said, we had an agreement. I send you an allowance 1 month. I pay the payment arrangement. The next month you pay it so that you will feel some responsibility. I said, your bill is down to $25. So why is this collection agency calling you for $400, saying that you owe $400 when the bill is almost paid? And I said, I'm going to explain something to you, son. They can inflate the bill. They've already gotten pennies on the dollar, but technically that bill wasn't supposed to have been transferred. But knowing what I know now, we really didn't have to pay Macy's after they did what they did, because they had already gotten paid because of the agreement they made with the creditor. This was prior to me being in the business that I'm in now. I'm in the business that I'm in now for several reasons, and I'm just going to narrow it down to 3. 1, I'm a former real estate agent. 2, I'm a former mortgage broker. I did that because of what I learned after my divorce with Patrick's father about certain things in the system. And so that was why I did that. Now, if I'd had this, a lot more people would have been financially free. I brought some people through with me from what I learned about credit even then, about how you become empowered through the tax system by owning a house. And then we all had our little side businesses where we were taking our tax deductions. But especially single people at that time, our interest rates were higher enough for our homes where it was really worthwhile for what you could write off just from the home alone. Then you add the business. So I'm with a team where we figured that out a long time ago. And so we've been leveraging that system, but there's still more. And that's what we're working towards right now. Anyway, wow, Glenda. Yeah, we need to talk. I am getting ready to tune out because I did not plan on being on this live this long. I did repost Pastor Brian's, where someone had shared it in our private connect group on my page, because I knew some other people needed to probably work on this. And at the bottom, I did put a note to, inbox me if you wanted to do the demo. It's free. And again, since I'm the only person that's going to know, I'm not going to contact you unless you tell me you want to talk about certain things. Then we can set an appointment for a time that works for both of us to do that. My schedule next week right now, it's pretty open. There's some times that I'm not available, but it's pretty open right now. So anyway, I thank you guys. God bless you. Hello, Leith. I love you, darling. I miss worshiping with you as well. And I just hope that I've been pleasant, because I get really serious, and it's not that I'm chewing anybody. I'm just, honestly, most of the time I'm just on. I go from serious to silly. There's almost no in between unless I'm asleep or watching one of my movies. Anyway, I've got a few things to do before my movies come on. I'm a Hallmark addict, guys. I'm a Hallmark. I like Hallmark stuff. I like Chris Rock. I like Jackie Chan. So I go from silly to action to just goofy. Anyway, I love you guys. God bless you. And if I don't see you now, Lord willing, I will see you. And the creek don't rise. I will see you all on the live stream tomorrow morning.